We have seen some test classes, right? Then today, let's learn about virtual class and virtual methods, abstract class and abstract methods. So these are the concepts we are going to learn, and then for them we are going to write some test classes as well. Okay. So what is a virtual class? Let me have one. Usually, when you create a class, the syntax will be public or private, whatever it is, access modifier, class keyword, then class name, right? Then, so there are different types of classes called virtual class, then abstract class. So, whatever the classes till now you have created, those are called concrete classes or normal classes. Okay. Then you have a class called virtual class. So, what do you mean by virtual? Virtual means you will have your methods and you can call the methods by using the instance. So, however you want. Let's see. File, new, Apex class. Generally, let's see how it goes. Okay. So, usually what you will do, you will have your methods here. Let's say public display, or let's say if you want, you can have the parameters integer A, integer B. Okay. Here, just simply okay. So this is the concrete class, or let's say it's normal class. Okay, you have already created this. So now, if you have parent and child relationship, actually this is like abstraction. So abstraction means accessing the parents' fields or values or methods into child. Okay, acquiring the properties of parent from child is called as the abstraction. Okay, sorry, inheritance. Okay, so this inheritance, so usually it is in the parent and child. There should be a parent and there should be a child. How can you define whether it is a parent or it is a child? Okay, so the thing is, if you want to have inheritance, there should be parent. Parent should be there, and then parent to child. Okay, so that means child should be able to access the methods of parent. So here child is also class, parent is also a class. Okay, so here child should always be class. Always class. Then parent might be virtual class or abstract class or Normal class cannot be a parent. Okay, so let's see how the parent and child relationship can be established in the. Okay, now let's see. So I have these methods. Let's write calculate child. Okay, this is the child. So there should be something to establish the child, right? So we have to know that this is the child and this is getting the values from the or get calling the methods from parent. Now, how can you do this? Is here you have to use extends. Then whatever the parent it is, calculate. Okay? And if you use extends, here you have to mention only the class name. It may be virtual class or abstract class. Only two, virtual or abstract. So here, how can we identify this class is virtual or not? We are saying that parent class should be virtual class or abstract class or interface. So here we have extended the calculate, but this is not the virtual class or abstract class because this is just like normal class only, right? Then see the error also the same will be. Non-virtual and non-abstract type cannot be extended. Okay, here just use public virtual. Okay, now if you try to save it. There is no method in this one, but how you can do it? So here there is no method called add in the calculate child class. Okay? This is child. The method is there in the calculate class, and this is the parent, and it's a virtual class. Okay, so now these values, I mean these methods from the parent can be accessed through the child object. Okay, just execute this. Okay, so this is actually the normal class. I'm sorry, this is the normal method. Okay, now what I have to do is this add method. What I need to do is I need to override it. Override it means I can use this the same code, but what I need to do is I have to display a value, b value as well as a plus b, but I don't want to disturb this method. I don't want to disturb this method means without changing this code, okay, in the parent class I need to change the code, like I need to print a, I need to print b, and as well as another one. Okay, so in those cases means if you want to, so the thing is in virtual class they will provide the code for execution. Method will be there, method will have its own functionality, and in your child class if you want to implement your own functionality, let's say they have added like add integer a integer b, they are adding it, but in your code, so if you add means I need to do the multiplication a into b. Okay, then without disturbing this, what you can do is if you make it virtual method, make method virtual, then class also should be virtual. If you don't declare virtual at the class level, then you can't create the virtual method. Okay, now what we can do is even now also you can use execute the same. See, in that case means if it is virtual method also you can access from the child. There is no restriction. But if you want to override your functionality, the method name should be same, public void add of. So you can give different name also, there is no issue. So here system dot debug of a into b equals to a into b. Now try to save this. Save it. So there is different thing here. Method must be used override key. Okay. So if you have virtual method on the parent, okay, and the parent is extended in the chain, if you have the same method, so if you want your own functionality, you have to use override key. Okay. So in parent, you have to declare it as virtual. In child, you have to make it override. Okay. Now, if you execute this, so as the method exists in the child code only will be displayed. Okay, so even the method is exist of the parent, but child code only will be displayed because you have overridden it. Okay, so that's about the virtual class and virtual method. Now let's see abstract class. Okay, so abstract class means instead of virtual, what you can do is you can create, just give abstract. If you give abstract, then there might be virtual methods, and there also, see this, virtual methods can be there, and even abstract methods. So what do you mean by abstract method? How can you do it? Okay, so even in the abstract class you can have your normal methods also. Let's say public void. Have normal methods. Even in virtual class also you can have normal methods. Okay, then what is an abstract method? Virtual method means method body will be there. This is called method body, means statement execution will be there. Okay, but in the abstract method there should not be, let's say, public. There will be no body for abstract method. Okay, so when you talk about virtual method, okay, so you are not required to override the virtual method, it's not mandatory. But if you see the abstract method, then the abstract method should be overridden. Let's see, save it. Okay, if the parent is having abstract method, then abstract method should be overridden in the subclass. See here. So calculate child must implement the abstract method called calculate.multiply. Okay, now how to do this? You can give integer something like body should be there. as this is the abstract method and you are providing the body, so what you have to do is you have to use override keyword. Parent, you are just overriding the functionality. Okay, so that is the abstract method and abstract class. Abstract class can have the abstract methods, virtual methods and concrete methods. Even in virtual class also you can have virtual methods and concrete methods, not the abstract methods. So if you declare at least one method as abstract method, then class should be abstract class. Okay, and virtual methods are not required to override, that's optional, but abstract method should be overridden in the child class. Okay, so now you understand, right? Virtual class means in the virtual class you can have concrete methods as well as virtual methods. When the this class is extended from child, and the virtual methods can be overridden, but it is optional, it's not mandatory. Okay, you can directly access the parent methods using the child object. And so if you go for the abstract class, in abstract class you can have virtual methods, concrete methods as well as abstract methods. Okay, so if you declare one method as abstract, then class should be abstract. Okay, it should be abstract class. So abstract method should be overridden in the child, and abstract methods will not have any body on the declaration. Okay, so on the definition, so there will be no body, because see here there are no statements like this here. Okay, so there should not be body, and then so you should override in the child. If you don't override, it will not be possible to save the class. Okay, so that is the abstract class. Let's see how the interface will work. Okay, so interface is bit different with the abstract class and virtual class. So that means how to create a virtual interface. Generally create the class first, interface A. Okay, so instead of class we just replace with interface. Okay, so interface is just like an abstract class which is having only abstract methods. Okay, so if you define like void add of then this is, so generally if you want to create abstract method, what you have to do, you have to give access modifier, then abstract keyword, then void, or it may be any return type, then method. Okay, but in the interface if you give the return type and method name parameters, by default these abstract methods are public. If you give public or not also, then these are the public and abstract methods, all are abstract methods. So by default these are public and abstract methods, so you don't need to expressly give the abstract and access modifier. Okay, so now you can have the methods like this, add subtract. Okay, now how we are going to use this interface. Okay, so create a subclass means implemented class. Okay, so if you are dealing with the interface, then instead of extends you have to give implements interface, Then when you implement the interface, then you should implement the functionality for the methods whatever they are in the interface. That is mandatory. If you don't give the body or if you don't override, then it won't allow us to save it. Okay. So now here if you want you can give it public void add up integer a integer like this. Here you don't need to give override keyword because that is interface and you are just doing the implementation. So by default it means it's overriding, that's it. So you don't need to give explicitly. So how many methods? An interface can have only the abstract methods. Okay, you cannot add any virtual methods or abstract methods. You cannot add concrete methods, virtual methods. So these are all by default abstract methods. Means you cannot, abstract means there is no method. Okay, so there is no body for the method here. So you are going to provide the body for the methods. Okay, so in coming days when we are going to discuss the queuable apex, schedule apex, batch apex, we have to deal with the interfaces. So interface means whatever the methods are there in that interface, you must implement them. If you don't implement, then it will throw the error. Okay, so that is interface means it's a special type of class which will have only the abstract methods. Okay, and whatever the class implements it, that should override the abstract all abstract methods from the interface. So if you don't implement, if you don't implement one method at least, then it will throw the error. All methods should be implemented. Okay, so visual methods means you can that is optional, you can override or you can ignore it. Abstract class means if you have abstract method it should be implemented. Okay, so in the interface all methods will be abstract and all should be implemented in the subclass. Okay, so that's about the interface, abstract class, virtual class. Okay, let's write the test class for this. Simple, however you are going to execute in the execute anonymous. So the same you have to use this at the rate of is test static void, so add test. This is one, and another thing is subtract test, because two methods we have, right? So add method and subtract method. Just use like this. Now call that, create an object for these. Save, use this, subtract 200. Okay, just whatever you are going to do in the execute anonymous, the same you are just keeping in the. Okay, even if you go for interface, interface is not required to have this. Okay, Now just create the test class for this then. Okay, write the test class for that. So next thing is, okay, first learn some best practices. Okay, note down this. Trigger order of execution. So in interviews there will be questions around this. This is very much important. Okay, first when you are creating the record or updating the record, generally what will happen, first system validations will be executed. System validations means if you make the field required at page layout level, if you are not giving the value, then what happens, automatically it will throw the validation. And you made a field required at whenever you are creating the field, okay, means required field, if you don't fill that field it will throw the error. Okay, those are called system validations. Okay, first if it is update, it will get the record first to the database, from the database, and what are the values you are updating, that will be set to the that record, and then it performs the system validations. So system validations means layout specific rules, means if you make field required or read only at page layout level, that will be validated. And then like required values, maximum length, so whenever you are creating the text field, you will give the maximum length 50 up to 55, something like this. If you give more than 50 or something, it will throw the error. That's called the page layout specific validations. Okay, then see this, first the system validations, then before triggers. Okay, so in before triggers you can throw the validations also, right? If the validations fail, it will throw the back to the UI. Okay, so then, okay, so in the before insert, I mean before triggers, after that execute before triggers. So again validation steps. Validations means if you have validation rules, or if you are validating the some of the things in the triggers, it will validate again. Okay, so that's called system validations. And the validation rules, first step is loads the data. Let me write one by one for your sake. Okay, so first loads the data, system validations, then before triggers, then custom validation rules, then after triggers. So here in the before triggers itself, after executing the before triggers, custom validations and duplicate rules also will come under the custom validations one. Okay, after that it saves the record to create the record ID, right? So if you save the record only, ID will be generated. That's why once the before trigger is executed, then only ID will be generated. That's why we are getting the values into new map, right? Then after triggers will be executed. Okay, first system validations, then before triggers, then custom validations, duplicate rules, then after triggers. Okay, then it will save the record into the database, but it is not committed. Committed means permanently save the record, but it's not committed. Then after that, assignment rules, you have assignment rules, right? Case assignment rules, lead assignment rules, then auto response rules. So if you work in the service cloud, if someone has sent an email to the support for creating a case or complaint, the case will be created and auto response rule will be generated. Means yes, the case has been created with your reference number, something like that. Okay, that's called auto response rules. Okay, after that workflow rules. Here the workflow rules will be executed. And then, so if we have the field update in the workflow, again all the steps will be executed. Workflows, first thing system validation, and then again before triggers, after triggers, custom validations, all the things will be executed. Okay, so if you have, see this, so if the record was updated with workflow field updates, fires the before update trigger. Okay, and after update only. Okay, now, so after workflows and field updates, then here process builders will come. Okay, so if the process builders are having any DML operations like update records, insert records, again the triggers will run. Okay, now escalation rules, entitlement rules, these are in the case case assignments in the case service cloud. Okay, so after escalation rules, entitlement rules, then here roll up summary fields will be updated. Okay, roll up summary fields. So if its parent is having some other roll up summary fields, that will be updated. Okay, after roll up summary field, then uh, parent and grandparent, something it goes in the like that again. So after the roll up summary fields, then sharing rules. We have sharing rules, right? OWD, then sharing rules. We have sharing rules will be executed. Okay. So after that, executing the sharing rules, it will commit the DML operations to the database. Post that, sending emails. Let's say if you have workflows to send an email, the emails will be delivered after committing the operations into the database. Okay, for your simplification, how that will be run. First, system validations. Second one, before triggers. Third one, custom validations. Fourth one, duplicate rules. Fifth one, after triggers. Second, one step is save the record into the database, but not committed. Okay, then executes after triggers, then auto response rules, sorry, assignment rules, then auto response rules. Okay, then workflows, field updates, then escalation rules, field updates, entitlement rules, right? Okay, after before triggers, workflows, field updates, then flows, process builders, and entitlement rules and escalation rules. Okay, here roll up summary fields. After roll up summary fields, then sharing rules, sharing rules. After sharing rules, it will be committing the commit to the database 70. It will be sending post commit logic like send emails. Okay, so this is the order of execution. Okay, and so you might have confusion. So why we are getting confusion? There is no uh, guarantee that all the things will be executed in the same order. Okay, it will be executed in the same order. No, it's not guaranteed. But usually, if a transaction is performed, then these are the so steps it will be performed. But here, see this: the order of execution is not guaranteed. when have multiple triggers for the same object due to the same event. That's why we should use only one trigger per object. Okay, one trigger per object. So the order of execution is not guaranteed. So when the workflows will be executed, when these things will be executed, so you don't need to worry about that. Just say how this will be executed. Okay. Okay, so these are the order of execution. Next one is trigger best practices. So whatever we have already discussed, the same thing will be there. Just try. Okay. So use the trigger framework. I'll explain it trigger framework how it will work. Okay. First thing. So you should have only one trigger per object. Okay. Okay. I'm erasing this. First, logicless triggers. Okay. Logicless triggers means the code whatever we have written. Let me show that. So usually code is here, right? The code is here. So you should not allow the means you should not write the code inside the trigger. Okay, inside the trigger you should not write the code. You just call them. Let's use account trigger service. It's a separate class. Okay, from the separate class just create a method public static void. Then here, what is the actual thing? Update phone on contacts. Okay, so inside this you are going to write like this. Okay, so this method we have written, and the one important thing is, okay, so if you use like this, understand, so there will be difficult to access trigger.new and new map something like this. So what you can do is list of account new list equals to trigger.new. If you write like this, you have to typecast it, because in the classes it will be list of yes objects, not list of the specific records. You have to use like this, and use old list as well. Now instead of the trigger.new, use this one. Instead of trigger.old, just use The one way of having the new and old list in the classes. So directly now call this method from your trigger. Use this trigger. So this is called logicless triggers. Okay, same code you are writing into separate class and calling into the trigger. Okay, I will let you know what is the framework, how it works. Okay, so use the first one, logicless triggers means write your logic in the service or handler classes. So better to use trigger framework. So I will explain the trigger framework later on this. Okay. One trigger per object. No DMLs inside the for loop. No SOQLs inside the for loop. Use map set effectively in map. Okay, so these are the some of the best practices. Okay, so and then perform DMLs after triggers only. These are the some of the best practices for trigger. Write the logic which supports bulkified. Something like code should be bulkified. Bulkified means if you insert one record, it should work. If you perform DML on 1000 records, it should work. Okay, that is called bulkified triggers. Okay, so that's all. Avoid hard coding the values. Hard coding the IDs. Okay, so these are some of the best practices. Next thing is test class best practices. So I'll explain them tomorrow. No need to worry. So because we need to complete some of the annotations called test setup, then start test, stop test. So that we have to complete. Then only we can come to notice. Because just now we have completed the trigger and we were able to at least see all the points and we can understand. The same way, let's complete the test class first. Let's see how it goes.